I have a question waiting for that student to ask. When riding a horse, where the hands should be, is that with trotting and cantering? Where should your hands be? Okay, where should your hands be when you're riding? This is a really touchy question because we have to take into consideration culture of how you ride, how you want to ride, English, Western, endurance. If you're asking me how I might ride, trotting or cantering or walking, I mostly ride with a loose rein. My hands are low. My center of gravity is trying to be as balanced as possible. If we look at it scientifically, it's not complicated, but I try to lead through the thought process of how I think so that it's not confusing. You can make your own decisions based off of just a bunch of ideas. When you're riding a horse, you're up this high, or higher. Your center of gravity with the horse is way different than if you're just living, you're just you. So having our arms up like this, it's easy for us to walk around. It's easiest for us to get around. Arms don't actually weigh that much anyways. But you have to admit that when you're sitting on your tailbones, your hips and your tailbone, and you're sitting on your butt, there's not a lot of balance space happening. So putting your arms out, if I have my legs wide, I'm not going to go that back that far. Have my legs wide, it's no problem. If you stand on one foot and you put your arms out, it's going to make a difference. I feel when I ride, it's the same thing. My balance is really important. You never know what's going to happen when you're on a horse. So with your hands, some people will ride up here. Some people will ride down here. And when people get really worried, their arms come all the way up. They're trying to pull their horse back like that. I feel that when you do that, you really compromise your whole center of gravity. So for me, hands being low, physiologically, it works for the horse because you're on their nose a little bit better. If you get up high, you end up sort of dragging their head upwards. If your hands are low, you're a little bit more ready to be changing your position and balance. So I try to keep my hands low. I try to keep my hands loose. I try not to be on my horse, on its face. In fact, all my horses are so sensitive that if somebody rides really tight, they'd get pretty worried. Luke's the worst for that. He just can't handle it because I've been too soft on his face. Anyway, so I try to keep my hands low. And there'll be times when your elbows will kind of come out and stuff, and you'll be trying to, I look kind of weird, but you know what I mean. Anyhow, so hands low as best as I can. And that will allow me to also, if I'm having trouble and I got to make a one rein stop, I can't make a one rein stop from up here because I'll just yank their head up. So there's geometry involved with controlling a horse's nose. And because their nose should already be low anyways, their hands should be down there too. If their head is high, you'll probably have trouble. I mean, you'll have trouble no matter what.